Magandang umaga po, Yusek Rocky.
Opo, Ambassador, totoo po ba na balak magsara ng mga eskwelahan dyan at hindi na rin daw po allowed ang dine-in dahil sa patuloy na pagtaas ng kaso ng COVID-19? Kumusta naman po ang ating mga ilan nating kababayan sa Singapore? Meron po bang kaso ng COVID-19 dyan?
Yes po. Actually, as of May 16, ang total number of cases dito sa Singapore are 61,585. Of these, 61,104 ang fully recovered na. 450 na lang ang nasa hospital or isolation wards. And 31 ang namatay so far. So, ang concern lang is yung mga number of local community cases ay tumataas. So, the last one reported about 2 days ago, 38 local community cases po yung report out of a total number of 49 cases during that day. So, this is the highest number of local transmission since April 17 last year. So this is really for them a spike. Although, and then more worrisome pa rin on top of that is because meron pang mga unlinked cases. In Singapore kasi, they're actually quite good at tracing, no? Contact tracing. Despite their system of contact tracing, there are numerous cases pa rin ngayon na hindi nila malaman kung saan galing yung infection. So that is of concern to them. But in general, relatively speaking, medyo konti pa naman ang cases dito sa Singapore, except that relative to what they have been experiencing in the last few months and last year, medyo mataas, relatively speaking. So yun ang concern. So as a result, nag-roll out sila ng additional restrictions, and one of them na is, as you mentioned, online learning na po uli yung mga schools. Yung eskwelahan kasi, actually for the longest time, halos 1 year na, open po yung schools nila, and very few, halos wala yung infection in the schools. So open yung schools nila. Pero with this new upsurge, they have now returning to yung online learning. Kasi may ilan-ilan clusters na ngayon lumalabas na some of the students are getting infected na rin. So that's why they're returning to online learning. And then number 2, even trabaho po is now going back to default is work from home. For a while, they were requiring 75% of people to go back to work na in the office, pero ngayon, back to work from home ulit. And then, of course, wala na rin dine-in sa restaurants. Yung mga restaurants dito have actually been open sana for many months already, pero sa ngayon, bawal uli mag-dine-in. Puro take-out na lang, tsaka delivery.
Opo. Ambassador, mga ilang araw, linggo po tatagal itong mas pinahigpit na health protocols po ng Singapore?
At this time po, ang announcement nila is it started Sunday, May 16, and will last until June 13. So almost 1 month po ang additional restrictions.
Opo. Ambassador, may report na po ba na may nakapasok na rin diyang yung pong sinasabi nating mga variant ng COVID-19? At ano-ano po ito kung meron lang po?
Yes po. There was actually a report issued by the government on May 10 where they reported na 6 COVID-19 variants from different countries are already here in Singapore. So may P1, Brazilian, B1351, South African, B117, UK, and then there are B1525 UK second variant, and then B16171 at B16172 na tinatawag nila Indian strains. So based on that, they are concerned dahil based on the experience ngayon, parang lumalabas more infectious yung mga strains na ito, especially the Indian variant. So, for example, I was mentioning kanina, may lumalabas na mga tinatawag nila dito clusters, which means maraming kasong related to one another. So, may dalawang malaking clusters dito. Yung isa, yung Tan Tock Seng Hospital. This is actually the first time na nakaroon ng malaking cluster in a hospital in Singapore. They've been very efficient, halos walang infection sa mga hospitals. So halos walang mga nurses or doctors nga na-infect during the last year. Pero this time, may na-infect na isang nurse and then maraming patients na were infected also. So 44 cases po yun sa Tan Tock Seng Hospital. Mga patients at yung mga relatives nila na bumibisita sa kanila. And then sa Changi Airport, nakaroon din ng ongoing malaking cluster din. May mga more than 60 cases na kaso related to, nag-umpisa lang yan from one cleaner in the airport na then kumalat through all the different contacts niya. So because of that, concerned sila, so they are now taking all these additional precautions. Dahil nga ang feeling itong mga variants na ito are definitely more infectious, and it also seems to be affecting mga children, mga bata na last year halos konting-konti lang yung mga cases ng mga children last year.
Opo. Ambassador, panghuli na lamang po, meron po bang naitala, sanabi nga po ninyo na tumataas po yung kaso sa Singapore, pero may Pilipino po ba na nagka-COVID? Kung meron man po, ano po ang tulong na ipinaaabot natin sa kanila?
Okay po. Meron tayong mga Filipinos who have been affected by COVID. Sa ngayon, as of May 16, 2021, we have a total of 578 Filipinos who have been confirmed with COVID since the start of the pandemic dito sa Singapore. Out of itong 578 na ito, 543 po have fully recovered and have been discharged. 35 na lang po ang nasa hospitals or isolation wards. And we are happy to report naman po na walang fatality sa mga kaso natin of our Filipino kababayans dito. So ang ginagawa naman dito naman sa Singapore, the government actually takes care of all the COVID cases. Pag you test positive, the government will bring you to the hospital or to an isolation ward. And they will, kung long-term pass holder ka, meaning may permit ka to stay in Singapore, the government actually takes care of all the expenses for yung treatment in the hospital. So in terms of yung mga expenses, wala naman tayong worry for our kababayans for that. The government of Singapore takes care of that. Now, the embassy naman, ang tulong natin po is we have an arrangement with the Ministry of Health dito na for every Filipino who is tested positive and they bring to the hospital, binibigay po yung contact numbers natin sa embassy and so that they can reach out to us kung may kailangan sila or may concern sila. So meron na rin nag-reach out sa atin when they were hospitalized, so we have been able to assist them naman. Of course, they are isolated, so hindi tayo makakabisita sa kanila. We are not able to go see them, but we are able to assist them kung may kailangan sila in terms of their urgent needs or to contact their next of kin or things like that. So we are able to assist them.
Okay.
And then of course, what we do naman also is we issue daily advisories sa mga kababayans natin dito, which we post in our Facebook tsaka our website to update them kung ano yung status ng mga COVID situation dito sa Singapore, and then to reiterate yung mga issuances ng government, kung ano yung mga bagong patakaran in terms of hygiene and in terms of yung mga restrictions ng gobyerno. And then, of course, we also have our emergency contact numbers na they can call us or email us kung may kailangan sila.
Okay, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong pagsama sa amin ngayong umaga. Philippine Ambassador to Singapore, Joseph Yap, mabuhay po kayo, Ambassador.
Maraming salamat din for inviting me. Thank you.